Hello fellow nerdlings. Today's video is going to be me painting my ammo jack. Oh, that sounded kind of official, didn't it? It's not going to be that official. I decided to paint this guy a while ago when I just finished him last night, I think. When this post is posted, it's a couple of days ago anyways, who cares. I finished him, he's done, he's gonna be on the thumbnail, and that's what we're going for. It's also kind of a reminder to paint your minis. We're collecting them as built plastic armies of grey, disappointed miniatures that needs your love and tender paintbrushes to finish them off. So go do that. In other news, next video is probably going to be Space Marines again. Yeah, so make me popular. I'm painting Space Marines, goddammit. That's all for now. Enjoy the video, like, subscribe, click things, comment, follow my Instagram if you can find it. So yeah, it's gonna be a short one, except for the painting. Enjoy 33 more minutes of this stuff. Here we go. Today we are doing this guy, and I will be cheating a lot. Partly because I'm lazy in videoing myself, I guess. Also, I sped it up like 4 times because you don't want to watch this video for 2 hours. Why would you? Nobody wants to do that. And I'm doing like a basic thing here with the skin. I'm using a sort of dark pink for all the skin. This is something I do on a lot of miniatures because it adds a lot of nice depth and color to his skin. You will also see me do a lot of base layer, like the base colors between takes, because that was just easy. And you guys already know how to put like a basic layer of paint onto a miniature. Hopefully that would not be an issue. But here we are, pink. Pink is a nice color to start with because it's a warm color and it's going to contrast nicely with these sort of muted, colder colors that I'm going to put over this color. And that might make me weird. I just like the way it looks, so here we go. That's a very grayish, cold grayish color. Almost purple, but very, very unsaturated. I don't know how to describe it really. I really like that color. It's really cool to use on stuff like this, and also I use it for a lot of other stuff to just as a sort of mixing agent if I want to desaturate something or just lighten it without adding white, because white will kill the color. It not only desaturates it in my mind, it also destroys it. And we're putting this on everything. Like, yeah. Leave a little bit of the pinkish color in the deepest recesses, and like as a sort of a black line. That means a thin line that separates different parts from each other. We are going to exaggerate the black lining later on anyways, using some other colors, because I don't like black lining with pure black. I want to use some color for it, like a dark blue or a dark green, dark brown, stuff like that. Make sure to pick out all the details. I would love to do a face tutorial sometime, because I approach painting faces on these miniatures the same way that I approach, like at my job. I'm a tattoo artist, and I approach like the way I paint these faces is the same kind of way that I tattoo them, which sounds weird, and it kind of is, but still. So I have a very my own stupid way of doing things, like the order of doing things. Also, we are painting the skin first, because you always work from within to the without. So skin, cloth, armor, etc. That way you can touch up things if you mess up and put paint on stuff that's not supposed to be painted. I never do that, of course. I'm a pro, if you can't see and tell for yourselves. Obviously, I am great at this. I'm just going over, making sure I get all the color where I want it, and like dots and lines. That's pretty much what we're doing right now. I don't really care about a smooth transition between the pink and this color, because that would take ages. This miniature took me about 3.5 hours from start to finish to paint. And, you know, then I don't want to put 4 hours extra into blending and making this skin color smooth, because it's a tabletop miniature. You're not supposed to even look at it this close as it's on the camera. It's supposed to be like a meter away at least. That's 3 feet for you guys on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. Now I'm doing smaller and smaller highlights and just adding more colors and still going on with that unsaturated light colors. This one is I think this is even the Rackhart Flesh from Games Workshop, actually. I mixed that into the other color a little bit because the transition would be too harsh otherwise. But this adds a little bit of highlight, and it's all gonna look fine in the end. Trust me. I'm just gonna trust the process. Do the right thing and just let it be pink and grayish. As a side note, first one of 1,000 probably in this video, I was a little bit scared of painting this miniature because it's so detailed. There's so many things on it. There's stuff everywhere. And I usually break miniatures down in my mind, sort of what I want to do with it and how I'm gonna go about it. But with something with this many details, that's kind of hard, because everything, when I painted it, it just came out with more details. Like, can you please stop? The details have details. The backpack has 1,000 things in it, and they're all pretty well sculpted. You can't really hide them in any meaningful way. And now we're going to come in with this is my way of adding a shaved head. This is a diluted medium gray color that I do, like it's almost like a wash, and I sort of wash/glaze this onto whatever hairline I imagine this guy might have, and this add sort of gives him hair that he doesn't have, or very, very short stubble of hair. This is awesome for like the hair on his head, but also you can do stubble on his shin using different grays and browns and stuff like that. So yeah, washing in some gray hair. As you can see, there was a slight jump in color here. I added some base coats for the pants and his shirt, and I decided I wanted his shirt to be sort of a lively green, because that's cool and it's going to contrast with the skin color a bit. And yeah, so you're gonna see me doing this shirt now, I guess. I really like putting lots of weird colors on everything, like shading his pants with brown, and also doing all the armor parts brown, or whatever I did there. Because now I'm using a contrast color. I think I used it's Black Legion, of course, my favorite black color. I love Black Legion. It gives this like very nice black that is really good for just pretty much anything you want to do a pure black. Pure black is a boring color per se, but if you're going to do a pure black, this is the color that I use. And as you can see, I use it on a lot of the stuff on this guy, because I think I wanted to make it easy to see, sort of like this is armor, so his chest armor and his greaves, and he's also got like a hand arm thing there. There will be black. Armor things will be black. Weaponry will sort of be black, like the bolt rifle he's holding, and also he's got a couple of magazines in his backpack. I'm gonna do those black as well later, you'll see that. So I just want to add that Black Legion is an amazing color for black. And now I don't even know what we're doing. Ah yes, my fantastic reds. They all start with purple nowadays, especially if I want to make them really super saturated and colorful. So I put down a nice purple color. You can pretty much use any. I like this one because it's a very vibrant and happy purple. It doesn't make the shadows that dark, because we're not really looking for dark shadows on these areas because they are all pretty much facing up. And then, yeah, a wash of brownish, reddish brown, brownish red, reddish brown, pick your choice, onto the armor parts to sort of bring out the spikes on them, the nuts and bolts. This also goes on pretty much everything. This is a perfect way of adding some grime and weathering to stuff with acrylics. Just water down a nice brown color. And here I skipped to show you how I painted the armor, but it's red now. This red takes 1,000 layers of pure red, and I'm using the Army Painter airbrush version of their pure red. But I really like how red it comes out, and then I add sunny skin tone to this for the sharpest highlights that you can see me doing right now. Because I like that sort of pinkish orange peachy color instead of the just pink or orange. And now I have added a lot more base coats. You can see me pretty much have outlined whatever color I wanted on the rest of the miniature. And I think that right now we are doing the NMM of the small parts that I wanted to do a silver NMM on. At least I'm base coating that, and I'm also adding colors to stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on here, and I really like that. Yeah, I don't know, this is me rambling over painting randomly. I am a chaotic person, I guess. But this is a sort of a true statement of how I paint stuff. I'm not as orderly as I come off in my videos, I think, because normally I just jump around and paint whatever I want, and I might see something, I'm like, yeah, sure. Or rinse my brush, take the color from my wet palette and just go ahead and paint something else mid doing something else. So like I might be doing his belt buckle, but then I see this thing that I want to do, like his shoes, and I'll do the shoes just because I felt inspired to do that right then. And I don't think anybody else shows you that, because we all want to seem like we're perfect people, and we are not. Most of us are just normal people. Some of us are better at painting than others, and I'm probably lower tier regarding that, but I still think that a lot of painters, even the best ones, are kind of chaotic in their way to paint. They might sketch stuff out, they might add colors as they go, things like that. There isn't like a pure, simple, like a step-by-step thing that we all do and like keep to at all times, because sometimes you paint the armor before you paint the face. That's just the way things are. Even though I want people to learn how to do it the proper way, because then you can bend the rules, and it's like in the bending of the rules that's where you find the true art, the true you in the art, you know. So learn how to do it and then bend it all to hell, for the benefit of your own painting style. And now we're just going in and doing smaller stuff, and there is a lot of small stuff on this miniature. Like I said, it was very intimidating to start painting this guy because there's so much going on. Across his chest he's got pouches and bullets, there's magazines and straps, there's grenades, you know, and that's just across his chest. And then he has the same stuff also repeated on his back, together with like a power hammer, stuff like that. He's carrying an ammo box, there's a lot of bullets coming out of that one. Yeah, this is it's not a simple miniature to paint in that way, because it's so busy. But I liked it. I liked painting it, and it's going to be fun to see if I can bring it onto the table sometime, because I don't really use an ammo jack. I don't know why I painted him, really, because I usually just paint for my playing pleasure later on. But this guy just was sitting there because he came in the same box as the Dome Runner that I don't really use either. So, funny coincidence. Sometimes you just paint things because they're fun and intimidating or challenging, which is sort of like two sides of the same coin. As you can see, we're just going in and doing a lot of tiny stuff everywhere. Like that's for the doing like a final edge highlight on this weapon to make it look a little bit brighter, and also adding the smallest little nuts and bolts on it and screws, stuff like that. What can I say about the color theory on this guy? He is pretty much 50-50 cold and warm colors, with some neutrals in between. And I also, like a happy accident, made that the lighter colors are up top, sort of. His head is the focal point, I guess. Even though I have some very, very happy colors surrounding it, because the head is still sort of saturated in its shadows. It's got a very high brightness level compared to a lot of the other parts of the model. So it's gonna stick out a little bit, and that's a pretty good thing to focus on. You want to put like the main focus where you want to put the main focus. I don't know if I succeeded. You can tell me in the comments. And if I failed, tell me that too. I need to hear stuff like that to humble me and ground me on this planet of yours. And I think the red is kind of nicely contrasted with the greens, because I have like two different greens, a very lively green shirt and also the more olive military green of some of the stuff across his chest, and the magazine box, the ammo box that he's carrying. And stuff like that is offset by the sort of warm brownish color of the leather straps and stuff like that. And it's also going to be kind of, the base is also going to give this sort of view that I want to give, I'll do to all my Necromunda models. It's a very weird base coming up. The blue pants are going to turn into some sort of denim. Yeah. Painting denim at this scale is kind of hard, but I just pretty much added a light gray color to the blue that I had and started desaturating the hell out of those pants to make it look like sort of new jeans or something. Whatever, it's 40,000 years into the future. They probably don't have the same kind of stuff we do, even though they probably also do. But I just wanted to have a grayish blue color on there to keep with the sort of saturated or desaturated contrast thing, and that just makes it look even more colorful. Yeah, can you tell that I was raised in the 90s of this stuff? The red era. And more details, more small stuff that just needs to be done. I think this is the simple golden NMM that I'm just adding a little bit of stuff to. This took forever, because the golden NMM is also the same NMM across every single brass casing of every single bullet that he has. And man, does this guy carry a lot of ammo. His gang is not gonna run out of shots, that's for sure. And all of these things are tiny, they are extremely small. So I had to be on my best behavior doing this, and it's kind of hard to do on camera because they are so small, and I'm like adding, I think, 3 highlight layers onto these brass stuff things. That's not very smart. You can be smarter. Don't do NMM on this guy. Because as you can see, it takes a lot of time. And is it worth it? I don't really know. Sometimes NMM is really nice, and sometimes TMM is really nice. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's non-metallic metal or true metallic metal. And if I'm gonna batch paint stuff, I usually do true metallics because they are faster and you can like reach a really nice level in no time at all, which is very good. And I'm just adding more and more. I think I'm using ice yellow on this right now. I used some sunny skin tone before, like blending it with the reddish brown, the same reddish brown that I always use pretty much. Sunny skin tone in that, it's gonna make it look a little bit brighter, and then I add ice yellow to just brighten it one more step. Those two colors are like, if you don't have them, go buy them. They are the perfect blending tones for a lot of stuff, and they are like universal. So yeah, go get them. I'm not sponsored by Vallejo, but those colors are amazing. And just going over lots and lots more. Like probably up to pure ice yellow now, I think. And then at the end of that, I'm gonna add a final touch on some of these things with an off-white gray color, because I don't really like the whites that I have, and that color is going to read like a white anyways. Yeah, what else to say here? I'm starting to hate myself at this point because there's so many bullets. They are everywhere, and it's pretty much just a dot on all of them. Over and over again. Why did I do this to myself? Yeah, the model is starting to look kind of nice now, right? I kind of like it. It looks nice. It looks well put together for some reason, and that is not my fault, I can tell you that. There are less things to paint now than when I started. That is a positive thing. We need positivity in this hobby. Like, stop clicking on rage bait doom and gloom people online. Don't give them a platform. They are only there to ruin your day by being negative, and nobody needs that in their lives. Soon the bullets the bullet casings will all be done, and we're gonna paint something more interesting, because I know you guys are just not liking this. Nobody is. It's not for normal people. So here we are. I put some of that light gray color into my olive green, and I'm just sloppily highlighting stuff that are supposed to be green. Making sure that my edge highlights are done with the flat of my brush. That's a pro tip. If you don't use your flat on your brush on your edge highlights, you should start doing it right now. That is the simplest way to get a pretty consistent and easy line on anything that's simple and easy to reach using that technique, like most of this stuff are. So do that. If I'm gonna teach you something, it's gonna be stuff like that. Like, this is the easy and simple way to do it, and if you practice brush control, you can use it on pretty much any kind of detail, even like this thin little space marine stuff, because it's all about the flat side of the brush. And yeah, we got some greens going, and things are brightening up. And now, yeah, happy spins. We are on the home stretch, finally. Can you tell? We are gonna do some NMM steel. And I base coated all of the steel stuff in the dark blue color that I've been using for a long time. It's like a dark regal blue thing. It's very dark, almost black. And into this I add, I think it is just ice yellow to lighten it up a little bit, and then somewhere along the lines I just start adding a light gray color to it. The ice yellow, I use that to sort of make a weird color. It doesn't really go green, it just goes weird. But it looks a lot better than just making it go into like a desaturated thing. And the ice yellow adds the possibility of it being a little bit more colorful, in my mind at least. You know, my mind is the only thing that I listen to. Who cares what everybody else is saying? And using the ice yellow is also like a pet peeve of mine. I came up with that idea by sort of having a boring day and I didn't want to add stuff to my wet palette because it was already full of blobs and stuff, so I just took ice yellow and put it into the mix and it came out kind of nice. I've been using it off and on since then. If I have it on my palette, I'll just throw it in. I put it in pretty much any color to highlight. Like if I'm going to use a gray color, if you're going to highlight a gray color, I might just put some ice yellow in it. You're going to see that on the base in a little while anyways. Because it adds a lot of interest. It looks a lot more fun. And yeah, now that I had so much fun doing all the bullets, we're going to do all the chain links on his backpack. Why? I don't know why I'm torturing myself this way. Because he's got like 6 or 7 or so chains across his backpack, and he's got the power hammer that I put some steel on that, and the bionic eye thing, I wanted to put some color on that as well. So here we are. This is the horrible thing. I just did the bullets and now we're doing the chains. And you guys are watching it, hopefully with like a interested eye, going like, yeah, what's gonna happen next? Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, we're just going back and forth, adding more light colors to the blue color to make it kind of pop. And at one point, sooner or later, I get to the realization that the stuff is sort of where I want it to be, and I stop doing highlights. That is not now though. There's still some ways to go. But luckily, when you're doing highlights, you're painting a smaller and smaller area all the time, so it's actually not as much all the time. It's just not. It's just smaller, but you can still paint pretty much every single thing. And when it comes to chains, if I was going to do this like a photorealistic with the specular highlights and everything, if they were larger, because these chains are tiny, if they were larger, there would be a lot more going on with them. Or if I was going to do a display model of him, but that's not going to happen. Because chains have a lot of cool stuff. It's a lot of cool shapes that create kind of a very nice canvas for specular highlights and like rebound light and just bouncing light everywhere. Yeah, I'm soon gonna be done with the NMM and I'm gonna be so happy. Yeah, that thing on the side there, that's a tool belt. It's got like 3 or 4 tools in it. Yeah, because he didn't have enough detail as it was already. So yeah, let's give him some tools as well, like 2 wrenches and some sort of tongs or whatever. And I'm doing sort of like the final highlight step here. I'm just touching the upper parts of the chain because I'm not going to do it photorealistically like I talked about, because that would have been a mess. Yeah, I'm old. My brush control is not what it used to be 20 years ago, and I am not really interested in making this into a display level thing. This is gonna be kind of good enough, I think. And he's kind of already looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say I'm kind of proud of myself to have actually started painting this guy. And I haven't seen a lot of him out there. Perhaps when he's now a plastic model in the new kit, and he's not a he, he's a girl now, but perhaps now he's going to be painted and seen a lot more on battlefields across YouTube and other social media places. Who knows? Tell me, have you got an ammo jack for your Necromunda gang? Are you that weird? Do you need one? Does he make a lot of impact on the game? Who knows? I might even try him soon enough. Yeah. I also took the chance to do like all the buttons on stuff and some extra highlights on the armor and the gun to bring out even more detail. We didn't have enough, so had to do more. But this also makes it look more finished. That's one of those things that I think a lot of people are missing. If you don't paint all the things that are visible, because if it's hidden you can't reach with a brush or stuff like that, it doesn't really matter. But if it is visible and if it is sculpted on there, you really should paint it. It's gonna make the model look a lot better. You don't even have to do much with it. Like right now, all these buttons and stuff, I'm just going over with a light gray to hit so that they shine a little bit. That's it. And that's gonna make the model look like sort of more coherent and more done. It's not gonna like be bad. So it's worth doing something with all the details that are sculpted onto the miniatures. And I think that is why a lot of the old people at my age are complaining about new miniatures, because there's so much stuff to paint and we need to paint it all. We need to paint it all and we don't want to paint all. Well, I do, but some people don't. So that's just paint the stuff. If it's got a gun holster, paint the gun holster. Just make it brown or black or yellow or whatever. Put color on it and it's gonna make the miniature look a lot better. If it's a sculpted detail, paint it. If it's not a sculpted detail, you don't have to paint it, but you can still add freehand stuff. Oh, look at that. Now I'm doing the rope. Yeah, because he obviously also has a rope. I'm also slightly highlighting the pouch for the tools, the tool pack that he's got. And that's just, I think I used some Rakarth Fesh with some light gray into it to just put some color everywhere. Like I said, paint all the details. If they are there, they need to be painted. You need to show that you have seen them, sort of, and show the world that you know that they're there. And here's the base. This is just pretty much ice yellow and a little bit of gray onto the stuff that I wanted to do on the base. And you can see also that I painted the base in blues and turquoises before, and also the brown, and now I'm taking some sunny skin tone onto the brown to help with the like yellowish orange color that I'm going to put on it soon, because the sunny skin tone has a lot better coverage than that. And then I'm just going over with like ice yellow and gray onto the other parts of this stuff, doing edge highlights and scratches and dots and stuff. These layers don't really have to be very nice and coherent, because we're going to cover it all in a wash very soon. And here's that orange yellow color. It's an airbrush color that I just had close by, so I used that because we're going to do some hazard stripes. Can't have a Necromunda model without hazard stripes now, can we? And then just adding some more highlights. These are very rough, as you can see. They are like very, very simple, because we are going to do cool stuff with it. Adding more of the orange stuff to get a better coverage, and now hazard stripes. These hazard stripes are not painted using black color. What? Who knew? Very, very dark gray. That's what they are. That's what I'm gonna use on this, because I think it looks, if I used black, it would have been too black for what I'm looking for. And now, of course, I am edge highlighting both the yellow parts and the black parts with different colors, sunny skin tone mixed with the orange yellow thing, and like neutral gray for the black one. Very simple. And the base is looking very weird, so that's why we're doing this. This is pigments with some airbrush thinner. I've done this once before and on the channel, and this is a very nice way of getting bases that look coherent. Cover it all. This is very thin, as you can see. It's very, very thin. Just spread it all over. And before I ended this miniature here, I dabbed on it with like a moist Q-tip. So, what do you think? Do you like my ammo jack? Or do you like the ammo jack generally? Do you use the ammo jack? Is he good? Should I use him? Should I make a gun for him? Yeah, tell me in the comments. Tell me anywhere. Show me that you exist. All 12 of you who still watches my videos for some weird reason. Are you creepy? Anyways, that's all for now. Check back in a couple of days, or a week, or 2 or 3, I don't know, whenever the next video is going to be posted and done, because I'm going to start painting the stuff kind of right now. But yeah, check back in and I'll have some more stuff painted for you, and I might even put some wisdom words in the next video, because there was none in this one. Thank you for watching, it's really appreciated. I really like that people are actually watching my stuff, even though I don't really say anything. Might have to change that though. Have a nice night, or day, or morning, or evening, or whatever, dinner perhaps. I'm gonna go and do something else now, and so should you. Paint your minis. Bye.